You have questions?
What is slashing?
We have answers.
Slashing is like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. And there's a penalty for that?
Yeah, you do that, you go to the box, 2 minutes by yourself, and you feel shame, and then you get free.
This is CBJ in 30.
Anything you folks want to know about the fascinating world of pro hockey, here we go.
Tweet your questions by using the hashtag CBJIN30.
We'd like to remind you folks, keep your questions within the boundaries of good taste.
Here's your host, Bob McGilligan.
And welcome to another edition of CBJ in 30. You know what today is, right? You know what today is? It's game day. Remember that? Matthew McConaughey and We Are Marshall asking his son, what day is today? What's today? Game day. Game day. That's right. That's right. I love that movie. I really do. And, Matthew McConaughey, I kind of like his stuff. I think he's a pretty talented guy. You think? We're not here to talk about that anyway. But it is a game day today, as the Blue Jackets are getting set to head to St. Louis and continue the preseason schedule. Blue Jackets 3-0 coming into the game tonight in St. Louis. Second time they will face the Blues. Second and final time in the preseason they will face the Blues, as the Blue Jackets won here 4-3 on Sunday night in overtime. Dylan Hetherington ended the game with the overtime goal, and the Blue Jackets skated off to victory. So tonight it's going to be a little tougher test in St. Louis. A couple of reasons for that. Number one, the St. Louis Blues will have some different faces in the lineup tonight than they had on Sunday. I would expect they are going to have a more experienced and more advanced, is it fair to say that, more advanced lineup tonight in their own building than they had here on Sunday. And that's not to take away from the Blue Jackets victory, by the way. Don't misinterpret that. That was a good one on Sunday. Everyone's a good one. But that one on Sunday was a good, hard-fought win. But tonight, when you looked at the names on the roster for the St. Louis Blues, there weren't, some of the standout guys weren't there. So look for a little bit more of that tonight. Some of their more standout guys, I would imagine, will be in the lineup tonight. And they're playing at home. And one thing about the St. Louis Blues is they're tough. They're always tough. Doesn't matter where they play. They are big. They have great size. They are a very tough team. They like to play a physical, in-your-face brand of hockey. There's no doubt about that. However, they do it, and some teams are like this. They seem to do it even better, or even more so, or however you want to describe it, at home. They seem to be tougher and more physical and really want to beat the heck out of you in their own building. And then when they go on the road, it's a little bit different. And that's just, it's called defending your home ice. They do it very well. They do it extremely well. And even though it's preseason, they'll be looking to do it tonight for a couple of reasons. A win is a win is a win. That's number one. And number two, they lost here on Sunday. So they'll be ready. They'll be geared up for it tonight. There's no question about that. And the Blue Jackets will have to be ready to go in there and get the job done. So just another day, right? Just another go to the rink and see what happens. Let the chips fall where they may, right? Yeah, something like that. Let's see. I'm going to go to your questions right here. That's what I'm in the process of doing right now. Getting to your questions. If you have a question you haven't sent it yet, you can do it right now. And you can tweet it to me and send it to at Bobby Mac Sports with the hashtag CBJN30. As long as you have the hashtag CBJN30, I'll get it. And then we can go from there. I want to remind you before we get going here that tomorrow the show is going to be live on location at the Roosters in Pickerington tomorrow, 11:30 to noon. Live on location, Roosters, Pickerington. So let me get this straight. I'm going to go from St. Louis tonight to Pickerington tomorrow. You would not believe in how many cases I would take Pickerington over St. Louis for so many reasons. But I'm going to do both, so it doesn't matter. In St. Louis tonight and in Pickerington tomorrow for the show. So if you're in the Pickerington area tomorrow, stop by. If you're not planning on being in Pickerington tomorrow, you can either catch the show like you always do, or you can change every plan that you have for tomorrow, scrap them all, and come to Pickerington for lunch and be a part of a live CBJN30. And if you're going to do that, if you're coming to Roosters, and I hope you are, if you're coming to Roosters, make sure you wear your Blue Jackets gear. That'll get you 10% off on your bill tomorrow. Okay? So live on location. We're about plugging stuff here because I want you there. You know, I sit here and I talk to you. Well, I was going to say every day, but it's been the last couple of days after resuming from the summer break. But it would be nice to come out, see what it's all about, see the behind-the-scenes working of this show. Let me tell you, you may not be impressed with that, but come out, ask your questions right there at Roosters tomorrow. It'll be fun. Looking forward to it. It should be a good time. All right, let's get some of these questions here and see what you have on your minds this morning here on this Thursday morning. Nick Mazesko gets the first question today. Here's Nick's question. It says, how many rookies do you think we will see this year on the big club? This is, this is a training camp question every year. How many rookies are going to make it? And I've said this before, but I will say it again. I don't know the answer. Nick, I don't know the answer to the question. I don't know how many you might see. Will Kirby Reichel play his way onto the team? Will Alexander Wenberg play his way onto the team? Will somebody surprise and play their way onto the team? I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is, again, if they make it, they've earned it. And they've gotten there out of their work ethic and their ability, and they're not there just to make it look good, especially a former first-round pick. There's not going to be a guy on this roster just to make it look nice and say, oh, look how smart we are. We drafted this guy. Now, just 2 years later, he's in the National Hockey League. That's not going to happen unless he's ready, unless it's time to earn it. Simple as that. If he's earned it in this camp, so be it. Then he'll be here. If he hasn't earned it, and when I say that, I don't mean that badly. I don't mean that, well, he didn't try or he purposely didn't do this or didn't do that. What I mean is if he came in here and played as hard as he can and did all the things he was supposed to and still is just coming up a little bit short for now, for the time being, then he goes to Springfield. And you hone your skills in the minor leagues. That's what the minor leagues are there for. You go there and you hone your skills, and when you're ready to come here and be a regular contributor, then that's when you're here. And that's tough for some guys, in different ways. Everybody thinks they belong right off the bat, and everybody wants to be here. The want and the desire to be here is through the roof, and they all think that they belong here. I'm sure that's the way you should think. You should think if you came, like if I was a GM and a guy came to camp, and I said to him, "Do you think you can make this team right now this year out of this camp? Do you think you can do it?" And he said, "I don't think I'll do it." Now, before you think to yourself or you say, well, maybe that's just being honest, well, then lie to me and tell me you can, because that's the kind of guy I want. I want a guy that's got the drive and the desire and the confidence that he can make this team coming right out of camp. So I don't know how many rookies will be on this team, but I'm not concerned about it. I'm really not, because there are so many veteran guys or second-year guys that I know they're going to play well. They're going to give 100% effort every day, and they're going to get results. The guys that are coming back, they've already shown that their work turns in the results that they're looking for. So if you get a rookie, if you get two rookies, they're going to be good. They're going to be good right out of the gate, because if they're not able to do that, they're not going to be here to start. They're going to go somewhere and refine their talents before they get a chance. So that's what I got on that. That's my perspective on that question about the rookies. And again, it's training camp, so this is something that everybody asks about. Training camp. It's a new year. There are new guys. You get excited. I'm just excited about the guys that are returning and the guys that were rookies last year that I know are going to take a bigger step this year. Those are the kind of guys I'm excited about. Not that I wouldn't be excited if a Wenberg or Reichel or Dano or any other rookie made this team. Because again, I know if they do, they were ready. Oh, let's see here. CBJ or Die has this question. Does height even matter in the NHL anymore, or is there only room for one short/speedy guy per team? I don't think that there's room for just one short, speedy guy per team. I think a lot of teams, you tend to see one short, speedy guy per team. And then maybe they have two. This is a league. I'm only hesitating because I'm just trying to put this together. Every league, every sport, every game goes through cycles, right? And it goes through what works. Look at this game. The New Jersey Devils, years ago, started a neutral zone trap, started to win Stanley Cups. All of a sudden, what did you see? Teams starting to lock down, play boring defensive hockey, because it worked, right? It worked, and teams were winning with it, so that's what they went with. Now you're getting into more of a cycle of speed, finesse, like we see in the Eastern Conference with a number of teams. But then you also have the Los Angeles Kings and Chicago Blackhawks type teams that have bigger players, but those bigger players still move very well, and there's still a good sense of speed. And in the West, it seems to me like, yeah, there's some finesse, but there's also more of just that bam right in your face. Hey, we can skate, we're pretty fast, and we can beat the heck out of you. That's the way it is in the West. In the East, and maybe with the exception of the Boston Bruins, it's, hey, we are pretty skilled and we're fast and we're just going to beat you like that. So I think there's more. I think there's room for more than one small, speedy guy on a team. But my whole point of saying this is, it starts out with one small, speedy guy, and then people say, well, he's an exception to the rule. He's small, and I don't know how he'll fare. Martin St. Louis is a fantastic example, right? I mean, he comes in and, he's in the Calgary system, and Calgary never does anything with him, and he winds up with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then he basically becomes a legend. And now he's with the New York Rangers, small, speedy, can take a hit. That's the big key. You have to be physically gifted enough to take the pounding that you're going to take every night if they can catch you. But then if you get a team that gets two small, speedy guys and they start to win, then all of a sudden teams go, well, I got one small, speedy guy, and maybe I should put another small, speedy guy out there too. Maybe that would work. So again, it's cyclical. You see somebody do it, then it's a good idea, but it's all about the players. And on this team, let's say that Cam Atkinson and Brian Gibbons both make this team. They're both small, speedy guys. And it's very possible that they do both make this team. I think it's really possible they both make this team. So there's room for more than just one. Can you ever have enough of, if you're having success with something, is one ever enough of that? Really? I mean, if you have, let's say in the NFL. In the NFL, they like to go with running backs of contrasting styles, right? Maybe they've got the big bruiser for the short yardage situations. Then they have the finesse guy and the speed guy that gets to the outside, and he's their guy that they're hoping picks up 10, 12, 15 yards a carry if he can. So, you've got those contrasting styles, and it's kind of the same here. You've got the big bruisers, and then you got the small guys. And really, when you look at football, if they can get two big guys and two small, speedy guys and rotate them, and they have effectiveness, or if one guy gets hurt, they have another guy to step in. They're all about that. I don't see why this is any different. I don't see if they can play the game, and if it works, and if they work hard, and they've got good skill, I don't care. I don't care how big they are anymore. I don't care, right? It's all about the results, the end results. If you have a team of guys that's 5'7", and they win, and they beat the team with guys that are 6'2" and 6'3", who cares? Then every team in the league will be going out looking for 5'7" guys that have a lot of speed. What do they say? What's the saying? That imitation is the best form of flattery, or however that goes, something like that. But that's just how it works. That's how it works, no matter what the sport, no matter where you're at. Let's see. Jody has this question. Jody says, number one, great having the show back. Thank you, Jody. I appreciate that. And number two, has there been a steady pickup in quote unquote speed playing? That's a great question. And I don't know how to answer that question, because right now, 2 or 3 games into the preseason, it's a mix and match of players playing in different roles, playing with different people. You're not getting, your regular guys playing in a spot that they might be playing in till games 7 or 8 of the preseason. So I don't know if you can really measure that speed factor. And when Jody talks about speed, It's about what head coach Todd Richards and general manager Jarmo Kekalainen said in the spring after they were eliminated from the playoffs, that they want to see their team play faster. That doesn't mean faster skaters. It means faster decision-making, quicker passes, getting out of your zone faster into the neutral zone, the transition from your end to the other end. They want to speed it up. They want to click, 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 let's go. Get it up the ice and get it into the other zone, get that other team back on its heels a little bit. And then once you're in there, you can look it over and see what you have. But they want them to move quickly to force other teams into mistakes. So, again, right now, I know that's been stressed, obviously, in these practices. No question about that. But it's, until you have most of your group together, I think that's where you really get more of a sense of, how close are you to improving in that area. And I think they're improving. I mean, again, it's the system now, right? It's been preached to them. It's the way they're going to do things. They're going to get they're practicing on being faster. So I'm sure it's going in that direction. But again, you really will get the true assessment once you get near the end of the preseason games. And then certainly, you're going to find out in the first week of the regular season if you're fast enough or not, if you're faster. And again, it's up here faster. Okay, it's deciding what you want to do faster. It's not, should I pass? Maybe I'll hold on to it. Maybe I should pass. No, it's I need to pass. Bam, gone. Simple as that. That's the kind of faster that we're talking about here. Jeremy Gray, what is your idea of a perfect Sunday? What time of the year, Jeremy? This time of the year? Because if it's this time of the year, it's a pretty easy assessment for me. During the hockey season, I'll tell you what would be a great Sunday to me. A great Sunday to me during the hockey season is get up early, go to church, come down to the rink. Let's figure it's a day game. It's a hockey day game. This is a key for me. Come down to the rink, do your work, mill around, talk to the people you have to talk to, get your interviews, this and that. Come up and get ready, do the game, and then go home and have there be a really good Sunday night football game on. And for me, I would prefer the Steelers to be playing in it, obviously, for me, because that's, cringe all you want. Cringe, click this off, whatever you want to do. You ask me the question, I have to give you an honest answer. So that would be, at this time of the year, that's a perfect Sunday for me. It really is. You get to watch two games in a day, one of them live, two teams that you really care about and you're pulling for, and you just load it up. Then you go to bed and you get up on Monday and you wish it was Sunday again. So that's my answer to you, Jeremy. That is it. Oh, let's see. See, I'm a simple guy. There's no need to make it complex. It's just simple. It's really simple. Oh, let's see. Matthew Wenzel. Here we go. I'm going to use the Gary Bettman line here. I'm going to. Matthew Wenzel wants to know, how soon do you think we'll see a Blue Jackets Penguins Winter Classic at the Horseshoe? Gary Bettman's line is when people ask him about that, especially within the last couple of months, last year, whatever, since the All-Star game was announced that it's going to be here in January. And then people ask about the Winter Classic. Let's worry about the All-Star game first, then we'll move on to that. But with this, but the real answer to the question is, with that the stadium series that's going on, the outdoor games outside of the actual Winter Classic itself, I think that helps. I really do. I would think it would be more likely to get one of those games, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it would be the New Year's Day Winter Classic. I don't know, but being that there are other opportunities now, hopefully that's going to be something that is in the works. And hopefully pretty soon. But again, you're getting the All-Star game, so don't really look for, these big events are great. But what I do think is that once the All-Star game is held here and that weekend comes and goes, I think a lot of people in the NHL, in the United States, Canada, in Europe, I think in Russia, I think they're going to look at this and go, man, what a great hockey town. What a great hockey venue. What a great place to stage a worldwide event. And I think that's just going to help. And that started 8 years ago when the draft was here, back in 2007. That was, that's what gets you the All-Star game now. the way that you handled it as an organization, the way you handled it as a city and as a fan base. That was what it was all about. So, and you put the team back on the map last year. The team put itself there through its play. Yes, I get it. But the way you guys packed the building and all the stuff that you did and the way you reacted, you really, again, there's a lot of players have said during this preseason, man, I watch games on TV, and I'm talking about guys that weren't here, guys that weren't playing. I watch games on TV, and that looked awesome. It just came across as awesome. So that's that. All of that helps. All of that helps drive the next event, the next place. Dennis Paul has this question. Being around it on a daily basis, do you ever get tired or burned out on hockey? Dennis, that's a really good question. And I consider what I have the greatest job in the world. I really do. It's no lie. I love coming here. I love being around here. I love being around the players. I don't feel I'm to the age yet where I can say being around them keeps me young. I think I'm still young and stupid in my own regards, but someday I really hope to still be sitting here saying that, as I get up with my cane and say being around them keeps me young. But I don't know if burned out is not the right word. And getting, how else did you put it? Do you ever get tired of it? I don't think you get, no, I don't get tired of it. But all I'll tell you is this. It's still, at the end of the day, it's still a job. Everything that we do here, whether you're playing on the ice as a player, whether you're coaching, whether you're broadcasting, whatever you're doing here, it's still a job. And just like you, there are days in your job where you're like, I really wish I didn't have to work today. I wish today was the day I could just say, that's it, man. Shut off my phone and shut her down and be done with it. So you still have days like that. But no, I don't get tired of it to where, I want to just have it end. You never want to have an end. Once it starts, you never want to have an end. And I don't get burned out on it. I'm very fortunate and I'm very grateful that in my job, you get to late June, early July, and then you can just kind of get away from it. And you can do other things and you can, have family time or whatever. And like I go, I help coach my son's travel baseball team, and it's a release and it's doing something different. It's still involved in sports, but it's doing something else. So, I'm fortunate enough to have that break from it, which really keeps you from, how could you get burned out doing this? I mean, really, as you sit there and you watch this, I mean, wouldn't you kill to be sitting in this chair doing this job? I appreciate it. I appreciate every second of it. And no, I don't get burned out on it. But is it still a job? Do you still get frustrated some days? And do you still pull your hair out? Of course you do. It's a job. That's the way it goes. But it is the best job. Trust me. It really is. Let's see. Let's go through here and see what else I have. We're winding down already. There's only like 6 minutes left in this show. Are you kidding me? Charles Anderson. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. I knew it was something like that. I'm just not in the thinking mode yet. I got a game tonight, Charles. I can't think until 7:45. There will be people that argue that I'm still not thinking at 7:45 tonight in St. Louis. Trust me. But thank you for that. I do appreciate it. I couldn't remember the actual wording of it. I knew it was something close to that. Something close to what I said, but of course, I don't even remember what I said now. Let's see. Let's go through here. 7:45 tonight, by the way. Well, I'm looking through here. 7:45 is pregame coverage tonight. And the pregame coverage will be on 1460 ESPN here in Columbus. Also on the Blue Jackets radio network, you'll be able to find us tonight. I've got to give a plug here. And I got to make sure I get everything right. But I've got to give a plug here about last night. Last night, my boss, Russ Mollahan, and I, we went out to Salina, Ohio. It's a long way from here. It's like, 2 hours? 2 hours from here. But we went out there last night. And we went on the Sports Corner show on our new affiliate there, K94.3, and we had a blast with Jared Dog, Jim Hyatt. We had a great time. Paul, the owner, was there, and we had a blast last night. And I know they're carrying the game tonight. So it's a new affiliate, FM affiliate out in Salina. So it's going to be great to have those guys on this evening. I tried to give them a little preview of what it's all about last night, but the best thing about and what I'm talking about the broadcast, but the best thing about the whole thing last night was it was the most relaxed, fun sports show I've been on in a long, long time. And it was great. We had a blast out there. So thanks to those guys for having us come all the way out to Salina. Thanks to Russ for driving because, there are times. I told you it's a job, right? Sometimes he has to drag me, he has to put me in the car, has to say we're going there. And every time we do that, it's well worth it. Every single time it's well worth it. And we had a blast out there in Salina last night. So, and thanks to, if you were out there last night at the show, thanks for coming out. And if you weren't, well, you should have been. But you do have a chance again tomorrow to be at a show in Pickerington, Roosters in Pickerington, 11:30 to noon tomorrow. This program will air. Wear your Blue Jacket stuff, 10% off your bill if you come out tomorrow. Tonight, St. Louis. Some of the guys that just came off the ice this morning, some of the veteran players. Feder Tootin is going to be back in the lineup tonight. I talked to Cody Golubev just a little bit ago. He's trying to not open some eyes. He's trying to keep eyes open. I think that's a better way to put it. He's already got people here know what he can do. They just need to see him go out and do it. And he's got a really good opportunity right now. Tim Erickson is still banged up. And, Tim's going to be battling for a roster spot. Cody's going to be battling for a roster spot. And right now it's Golubev that's in the lineup and gets a chance to do some playing here. So he's, trying to make hay while the sun shines. Huh? I got that one right, didn't I? Sure did. Let's take a look at, I'm just trying to look at the computers. Great when they work, right? I'm just trying to look up the total lineup for tonight because I don't want to forget anybody or I don't want to screw it up. And there's a good chance that I do just that. Ryan Craig will play tonight. Simon Jalmerson, Jerry D'Amigo, Michael Chaput will be back in. Jared Bull, Scott Hartnell, Mark Letestu's going to play. Nick Foligno's going to play tonight. Cody Golubev is going to play with his defensive partner from Springfield, Frederick St. Denis. Frederick was here last year. He was another guy that spent a lot of time here sitting in the press box and didn't really get a chance to play. So he gets a good chance tonight. And he and Golubev, as I said, they play together in Springfield, so the chemistry there should be good. Cody was really excited about playing alongside of him because there'll be a comfort level there for both of those guys in that game tonight. Dalton Proud, Feder Tootin, they're going to play tonight. Curtis McElhaney and Anton Forsberg are going to be the goaltenders going to St. Louis tonight for the Blue Jackets. Stretch of 3 preseason road games in a row, by the way. Tonight in St. Louis, Saturday afternoon in Pittsburgh, and then Monday night in Nashville. Bang, 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 3 on the road. But again, that day off in between all of these games, I think that's key because I know there have been other preseasons where there's been, 2 games in 3 days, 3 games in 4 days. And it's kind of nice to have just that little break in between each game. But on the road tonight in St. Louis, again, it's going to be tough. There is no doubt about that. Jody Shelley is going to join me on the broadcast tonight. I think. No, he is. He said this morning. So Jody and I will be on tonight. Again, 7:45. You'll be able to find the game on the Blue Jackets app at bluejackets.com, on 1460 ESPN, and on the Blue Jackets radio network, the Scioto Downs Blue Jackets radio network, as a matter of fact. That's tonight from St. Louis. The Blue Jackets and the Blues are going to renew their rivalry coming up this evening. So I got to go. I got a lot of stuff to do. I got to get on a plane this afternoon. I know it's a rough life. It's tough. It's tough, but somebody's got to do it. Thank you guys for being there. As always, I hope you're there tomorrow at Roosters in Pickerington, 11:30 to 12, 10% off your bill if you have on your Blue Jackets gear tomorrow. We'll do it live there. Come out, get lunch, hang out, ask your questions. Just all around good hockey day. That's what it's going to be tomorrow. On the air tonight, Mark Wine will have the pregame coverage starting at 7:45. Jody Shelley and I at 8 o'clock from St. Louis. Till then, this is Bob McElligott saying thanks for watching and talk to you tonight.
I'll talk to you later. Don't want to hear it again tonight. I'll talk